Hey readers! As we read today, we are going to be thinking about why the author wrote this text and also how the ideas connect to each other. Never Smile at a Monkey by Steve Jenkins. Everyone knows that tigers, crocodiles, sharks, and other large predators are dangerous. Many smaller animals are also well-known threats. People do their best to avoid rattlesnakes, black widow spiders, and piranhas. This book is about creatures, both large and small, whose dangerous nature may not be so obvious. Their teeth, claws, spines, and venom can be deadly to an unsuspecting or careless human. What makes these animals so dangerous? And what should you never do if you encounter one of them? Sometimes authors let you know why he or she wrote the book right from the start. As I read this page, I heard the author give us some clues about why he wrote this book. When he said, "This book is about creatures whose dangerous nature may not be so obvious. Their teeth, claws, and venom can be deadly to an unsuspecting or careless human." I am thinking the author wrote this book to teach us about these creatures and to warn us to stay away from them. Never pet a platypus. This peculiar-looking animal appears harmless, even comical as it waddles about. The platypus, however, is the only poisonous mammal. It has venomous spurs on its hind legs, and it can give you a very painful jab. I am thinking about the phrase peculiar-looking animal. What could that mean? Let me look at the picture for a clue. He looks a little silly with his bill that almost looks like a duck. Maybe peculiar means strange. Let me reread the sentence and use the word strange for peculiar. This strange-looking animal appears harmless. Does that make sense? Yes. The platypus sure is strange or peculiar looking. The author tells us even though it looks harmless, that we should never pet it because it has venomous spurs on its hind legs. And venomous means poisonous. So how does the title connect to the information in this section? Why should we not pet a platypus? Turn and tell your buddy. Did you say that the platypus has venomous spurs or spikes on its hind legs? If you pet it, you could get hurt. That is why you should not pet a platypus. Never clutch a cane toad. This large, homely amphibian is a gentle insect eater. It's harmless except for two large sacs of venom on its neck. If pressed, these pouches squirt out a blinding and sometimes deadly poison. What would happen if these pouches are pressed? Turn and tell your buddy. Use the picture to help you understand the text. Good job, readers. Did you say if you pressed the two pouches, it could squirt out a deadly poison? The author shared with us a point: never clutch a cane toad, and then he shared why this is important, or a reason why this would not be a good idea. The author told us that by clutching the cane toad or squeezing it, it could release the poison. That's a good reason to stay away from the cane toad. corner a cassowary? The cassowary is a flightless bird that stands as tall as a man. Though it is shy and avoids people, a surprised or cornered cassowary can deliver a lethal kick with its sharp claws. The author makes another point here: never corner or get too close to a cassowary. Then he shared a reason or why this is not a good idea. Listen for the reason why it is important to not corner a cassowary. Though it is shy and avoids people, a surprised or cornered cassowary can deliver a lethal kick with its sharp claws. Turn and tell your buddy the reason why it's important to not corner a cassowary. Good job, readers. Did you say they could kick you with their feet and their feet have sharp claws? One of the cool things about this book is that the author included even more information about the animals in the back of the book. So here's the part in the back of the book about the cassowary. The cassowary lives in New Guinea and northeastern Australia. It is the world's third tallest bird after the ostrich and the emu. The cassowary has a bony helmet that gives it the distinction of being the only armored bird in the world. Females are larger than males and can reach 6.5 feet, 2 meters in height. The cassowary lives in dense forests and may use the bony crest on its head to push its way through the undergrowth. It defends itself by kicking and slashing with its feet. Cassowaries eat fruit, insects, frogs, and snakes. So turn and tell your buddy, how does this information about the cassowary in the back of the book connect with the information that we just read about not cornering a cassowary or not getting too close to a cassowary? Good job, readers. Did you say they both talk about the cassowary kicks with its feet? We learned a little bit more about why the cassowary kicks when it is cornered, because it is trying to defend itself. Or confront a kangaroo. The male kangaroo defends itself by boxing with its front legs or balancing on its tail and kicking out with its back feet. When it's really riled up, a kangaroo can deliver a kick powerful enough to cave in a person's chest. Does this kangaroo remind you of another animal? Me too. The cassowary that we just read about. How are they the same? How do they connect? Good job, readers. Did you say the kangaroo and the cassowary both kick with their feet? And they both kick really powerful kicks? A final word of advice: never smile at a monkey. If you smile at a rhesus monkey, it may interpret your show of teeth as an aggressive gesture and respond violently. Even a small monkey can give you a serious bite with its long, sharp fangs. So the author made another point on this page to never smile at a monkey, and that's actually the title of the book. Turn and tell your buddy the reason why the author gave to never smile at a monkey. Good job, readers. Did you say because they can respond violently, they can bite? Let's revisit the first page we read. The author gave us a clue about why he wrote this book. Turn and tell your buddy, why did the author write this book? Good job, readers. Did you say to teach us about these creatures and to warn us to stay away from them? So remember, today and every day as you read, you can think about why the author wrote the book, what was the author's purpose, and you can also connect ideas, pieces of information between pages. You can connect ideas and pieces of information in the text to the pictures, and you can connect ideas and pieces of information in the text to the title.